This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Spoiler number one is Dr. Lee Franz.
It stinks.
What is going on? What is going on?
Episode 80. Submission number 1025. The Noel Edmonds Show. The Noel Edmonds Show aired on ABC Late Night from Monday, June 23rd to Friday, June 27th, 1986, for a total of 5 episodes.
Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Day 5 of the world premiere week of The Noel Edmonds Show.
Hello, I'm Phil Collins, and I'd just like to say that myself and Genesis are very pleased and proud to be a part of Noel's show. And I'm also very pleased and proud that Noel has in fact got his own show in America now. He's been doing it in England for many years, and everybody loves him over there. And I'm sure you're going to love him over here. So ladies and gentlemen, my mate, Noel Edmonds.
Tonight, from Hollywood, it's The Noel Edmonds Show. With Noel's special guest stars, Paul McCartney, Phil Collins and Genesis, Philip Bailey, stuntman George Willig, the return of American Jockey Shorts National Championship jump-off, home movie mogul Charlie Schmidt, the attempted recreation of one of Harry Houdini's greatest escape stunts, the Noel Edmonds audience, and me, Fingers Fontaine. Now, from the ABC studios in Hollywood, here is Noel Edmonds.
Thank you. A very good evening. Thank you for joining.
So, folks, you got your Craig Fergusons nowadays. You got your James Cordens. People who made it big in the UK but now are finding major success in the US. But back in the 80s, back in 1986, that was what? No one's ever heard of that.
Yeah, because I mean, at least when James Corden hosted the Late Late Show, he would have been familiar to American audiences because he was on Doctor Who.
Yep, and Craig Ferguson, when he hosted the Late Late Show, would be familiar because he was on the Drew Carey Show.
Yeah, Mr. Wick, baby.
Oh yeah. But in 1986, you had the likes of Bruce Forsyth and Noel Edmonds trying to make it in America. Of course, Bruce Forsyth would bring his Brucey bonus to ABC Daytime on Bruce Forsyth's Hot Streak.
Future installment, Bruce Forsyth's Hot Streak.
It's not on the list. It's going to be now.
Oh,
Yep.
You're right. Oh, because it's a great show. We need to have it on the list.
Yes!
Yeah, for whatever reason, in the around 1986, ABC decided, you know what? We got to have some British personalities on our network. Maybe like one day Brandon Stoddard thought, you know what? We got to have we have to have British people on our network. Who knows?
Well, you had British people on your network in June of 1986. You had one British person on your network in June of 1986. And that would be a man by the name of Noel Edmonds. Huh? Well, basically,
I think our astute viewers would know who Noel Edmonds is.
yeah, but everybody, our astute listeners would know who Noel Edmonds is. Everybody else would be like, well, who? Well, so let me give you a bit of a background. This was from a story that the AP did about a young 37-year-old talk show host out of Britain. Noel Edmonds makes a splashy late-night debut in America with what may be a first, an exclusive bathtub interview with rock star Roger Daltrey.
Ooh!
I went to Switzerland to interview Daltrey in the bath with me in the bath too. I never had a bath with a man before and never will again. His interview with rock singer Phil Collins of Genesis is slightly more conventional, done in a boat in the middle of a Swiss lake. The interviews with Collins and Daltrey, lead singer of The Who, are just part of the bear of the late night The Noel Edmonds Show on ABC, which gets a 5-night tryout beginning Monday. If it attracts a large enough audience, it could become a fixture following Nightline. Remember, this was about 25 years before Kimmel.
Yeah,
Maybe
25 years before Kimmel took over 11:30 from Nightline.
Mhm.
Because it was like a good decade where Kimmel was after Nightline.
Yeah. So the show itself was loosely based on Edmonds' hit Saturday Night English series, The Late Late Breakfast Show. Will be an eclectic mixture of interviews, performances, stunts, and audience participation events, not unlike those we see nowadays, with your Jimmy Fallons and your Stephen Colbert's and your James Corden's and your Seth Meyer's and okay, I better dial it back, Chico, dial it back. It's not a chat show in the American sense, says Edmonds, who is here to tape the 5 shows. We go where the people are for the interviews. We want to give an opportunity to people to do the chat shows around the world and do something different. So, what happened?
That's
Too weird for an American audience?
Yeah, because this is 1986. I mean, nowadays we're used to those sort of gimmicks on late night TV, but you got to remember, in 1986, pretty much the only late night talk shows that were like on network TV were Carson on NBC and Letterman.
Mm-hmm. They really wanted to try and beat Carson and Letterman, and CBS didn't have anything in 1986. No, they didn't.
No.
It's like ABC had Nightline followed by reruns of whatever was on primetime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and CBS really wouldn't try for a late night show until Pat Sajak in '89, which, by the way, we will cover eventually one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just too unconventional. I mean, we're going to talk about some of the segments on the show. I think he was trying to bring his own little British twist to television here in America, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, we had a lot of people that when they try to break America, I guess that's what the phrase is. They basically play off strength. But what happens when your strength is conventionally different than what you're used to seeing on American television? What, Dan?
Yeah, and from what I saw, it seemed, parts unconventional American television, but also part, look who I know. Because how many celebrities, specifically internationally known British celebrities, were there just on the episodes that we know are out there, which, as far as we can tell, are 3 of the 5 shows. Yeah. You had Phil Collins, you had Julian Lennon, you had Sir Paul McCartney.
Roger Daltrey. Do not forget Roger Daltrey.
Well, again, I mean, that just adds to the list. It's another British personality that...
Annie Lennox.
Annie Lennox, exactly. So it's sort of like Noel Edmonds went through his Rolodex and said, okay, here's my friend from British entertainment, British music, what have you, and I'm going to interview like Phil Collins on Lake Geneva or Lake Lucerne or wherever that was at.
It was Lake Geneva, yeah.
Okay. And just the segments themselves, some of them were very weird. There was a tea slurping competition.
A tea slurping?
There's a competition for tea slurping. But also, the really weird one, there was a contest between 6 audience members to see who could go in and out, jump in and jump out of a pair of jockey shorts the most times in a minute.
Oh yes, I saw that segment. Yes, it was
That was goofy.
Oh, but I want to point out the winner of that was that cutie wearing that Dodgers shirt.
Yep.
Okay, that's your takeaway. All right.
That was my takeaway. Sadly, she's like the second person this week to take after my heart after Katie from this week's Match Game Out with Square History reruns that recently aired on Buzzer.
Oh, jeez. Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh, boy.
Greg's fawning over people on TV shows from before he was alive.
So you know that there was Noel Edmonds, but what you don't know was he was actually produced by Michael Hurl, who is known for, among other things, Top of the Pops, which I believe Noel Edmonds hosted, and The Two Ronnies.
Oh, and actually, we should also mention, in case you don't know who Noel Edmonds is, well, first off, why are you here? But in a second,
If you don't know who Noel Edmonds is, what podcast are you even listening to?
Noel Edmonds is like maybe the best way we could describe him is the Ryan Seacrest of England.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not only does he do DJing, but also, as we said, he has many irons in the fire in terms of TV shows over his career. We mentioned the Late Breakfast Show.
He was Doctor Who. He was in previous installment Doctor Who Dimensions in Time.
Yeah, he was, and also he hosted Telly Addicts, which is kind of sort of like turned down remote control, a television trivia show in England. Noel's House Party, which is absolutely huge back in the 90s.
Noel's Multicolored Swap Shop.
Yeah, he did that too.
Oh! Previous installments. Cheap.
And you see, the big one I didn't even get to. He was the host of Deal or No Deal in the UK for over 11 years.
Yeah, he was the UK Howie Mandel.
Yep.
That's actually not a compliment to Howie Mandel, because the way that Noel Edmonds hosted Deal or No Deal...
it was different to Howie, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I said it's not 100% fair, because Noel Edmonds on Deal or No Deal,
okay.
he knew how to get every ounce of drama out of it.
It's like the difference between Chris Tarrant and Regis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One's definitely American taste, and the other's definitely a British taste. You're accurate there.
Oh, another person who was on this show, who produced it, was a guy by the name of Troy Miller, who would go on to work for Arrested Development, Mr. Show, and Flight of the Conchords. Future installment Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, that's pretty well known, Flight of the Conchords.
Okay, not future installment Flight of the Conchords. But yeah, this had Noel Edmonds was basically in his comfort zone, where he wasn't doing his monologue wasn't this sort of what happens today. His monologue was basically him relaying what he learned about America, I guess. It was basically you run down the stairs. He talks about because his bit is very observational. There's no real news rhyme or reason to it. It's some sort of observational. Not only is he talking about what he's observed about America, but he's also talking about his audience members, I guess. There was one person he looked at. He said he wanted to see his wife in something long and flowing, so he threw him down the Mississippi. That's the joke.
That's the British humor coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is the zebra at the Dublin Zoo called Spot? Or an ABC trailer that says, "A wild man is on the loose."
I think that promo might even be on YouTube.
Well, if we can find it, can we put it in here?
Late night viewers, watch out. A wild man's on the loose with special guests Huey Lewis, Annie Lennox, Phil Collins, and much more.
The Noel Edmonds Show
starts late night Monday.
Okay, so one of the things, because again, this guy was very observational. He didn't go over the news. This was not the talk show you listen to for flippant comments about the news. This was a talk show you listened for flippant comments about the people in his audience. Like this lady, he wanted to see his wife in something long and flowing, so he threw her in the Mississippi. Or this person, she's going to market it as soon. She's the inventor of a non-drip instant drying paint. She's going to market it as soon as she can find a way of getting it out of the can. And then there's the time where you just ask, why is the zebra at Dublin Zoo called Spot?
I don't know. Why is it called Spot?
Nobody knows. But yeah, and there's one bit where he's talking about a homeless man, and he keeps giggling over the word bum because he's British.
Yes. Because bum means something else over there.
Yes. And while the rest of the talk shows where your Johnny Carson's and your Alan Thicke of the Knights are gonna play it straight and do whatever and what have you, no, he's going to where the action is. He went to Sam Harris, who won Star Search. He wanted to do an interview with him. Sam Harris would just close the door on his face. Annie Lennox, he called her a very talented lady who's got a very keen sense of humor. She tried to get rid of him in a restaurant.
Yeah.
For being a big celebrity in the UK, he's not really doing too well.
He's got the way he figures it. He has a week to do.
Yeah, he's got 5 days. He's like, I'm going to try to make the best of it. And by the way, folks, we do have some promos for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have 2 promos we found of this show on YouTube, narrated by our favorite Ernie Anderson. We're gonna play one promo from the premiere and another promo for the finale right here, back to back.
Tonight,
Brace yourselves!
for Mr. and Huey Lewis.
Noel Edmonds Show, late nights.
The most fun you can have with your television on.
Starting tonight. Listen up, late-night viewers. Catch Paul McCartney, Philip Bailey, and Phil Collins with Genesis.
It's worth watching. Make sure you don't miss it.
The Noel Edmonds Show after Nightline.
You notice how they were very quick, those promos?
Just nice, and there were whip-arounds, basically.
Yeah, very simple, nice whip-arounds, but kind of cool to see Noel and Huey Lewis with each other. That's kind of awesome.
Yep. I think Huey Lewis was still trying to get his bit from Back to the Future, because I could tell his delivery was a bit stunted. It's the most fun you could have with your television on. I know what he's trying to say.
What's he trying to say?
The most fun you could have with your television on. But the delivery was just not there. With your television on. The most fun you could have with your pants on. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to... Yeah.
But yeah, it's I see what they were trying to do, but they didn't necessarily get there yet. I guess that's the overarching theme of the series. It's I see what you're trying to do, but how in the world are you trying to get there? Know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just didn't translate well.
Yeah, I guess you could say that Noel Edmonds is to an American audience is kind of an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot of British stuff that's an acquired taste.
Yeah, there's one of those things. Oh, okay, Greg, you alluded to this. You alluded to this as such earlier this week. Marsha Warfield, who at this point was was more known for being stand-up and not a bailiff.
On Night Court, yeah.
He introduces her as an extremely funny and perceptive observer of the human parade, which is a high praise for an act which opens with, "We got any black people here tonight?"
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't know Woody Johnson was writing jokes for Noel Edmonds.
Oh God.
That was Marsha's opening line, actually.
I'm gonna turn this car around, Greg. Don't be playing the Woody Johnson card again.
Sorry, not sorry.
I don't blame you.
So it seems like yeah. It's one of those things where it's just okay. I see where he's going. Did she get the memo? He just went back to what he's used to, which is basically trying. He basically spent He spent 5 hours of time on 1986 television trying. Again, with people in the audience, he's like, "From the view, I think we're pretty certain you're a lady. Would you be happier with your shoes on? Happier without your trousers on?" All I can say is, God bless the warm-up comedian, because I think he had his work cut out for him.
You think?
Yeah. So going into the last episode, and I guess you could say the last chance for this guy, who was on? We had Billy Ocean, the Pet Shop Boys, and David Hasselhoff.
That's about as mid-'80s as you can get.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, you could tell he was running on fumes, where it's like, aren't the English eccentric, or we've run out of ideas, or, again, the tea slurping contest you earlier alluded to.
And they did the jockey shorts competition I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
too. They did that on the Thursday episode, and then they did it again on the Friday episode.
They did it for 2 episodes?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a 2-episode thing. They had the competition on Thursday, and they brought it back again with 5 new contestants, plus I don't know if it was the U.S. champ, but the person who won on Thursday night, who was, I think, like 5 or 6 off the world record. Yeah, that segment was brought back for the final episode.
Oh, yeah, they were trying to break a Guinness World Record, which, by the way, folks, as we've learned with the controversy with Billy Mitchell, the Guinness World Records have been a joke for years.
Yep. Well, the week ends with what we have, an audience participation stunt trying to go out with a real bang, but then it turns out to be a bit of a disaster. It's, again, it's sort of a precursor to him trying to go out with a real bang, and then 5 months later, he actually does end up going out with a real bang when the Late Late Breakfast Show is canceled because of an accident that took the life of an untrained hod carrier during a bungee jump stunt.
Yeah, ooh, I've read about that.
Yeah, the Noel Edmonds show has a person in the audience reenact a famous Houdini escape. He had the week to rehearse being hung upside down in a straitjacket with 60 seconds to escape before a burning rope drops him headfirst onto the studio floor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it takes about 75 seconds for the guy to get out of the jacket. The good news is, well, he doesn't drop to the floor because there was a wire in the middle of the rope just in case. You know what I mean? There wasn't really going to let him fall to the ground. Not on television, no.
No.
They had that fail-safe. They have the fail-safe backup.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to mention. The Wednesday show is on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do you know who was a musical guest on the Wednesday episode of the Noel Edmonds show?
Who was the musical guest on the Wednesday episode of the Noel Edmonds show?
Well, it's related to someone who was involved in an entry we talked about last week. Peter Allen was on the Noel Edmonds show.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he was. Yes, good call.
Because he was the host of the Hollywood Game, which is incredibly forgettable. Well, the pilot of the Hollywood Game. So sad.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, you get to see Peter Allen singing.
So there you go. And that's how the show ended.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing much we could say about the Noel Edmonds show. It was a summer filler program for like a week.
He was hoping it would last longer, but it never did.
No. Just like Bruce Forsyth's hot streak. Didn't take off.
It did not take off, but hey, at least Noel Edmonds had a career. I mean, he could have that pesky career to fall back on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and those millions of pounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got nothing to worry about.
Yep. And nobody and the best thing you could say about this show, nobody died making it.
Yeah. That's true.
That is the absolute best thing you could say about this show. Actually, that is not the best thing you could say about this show.
Oh no.
Yeah. 1986, The Noel Edmonds Show. The best thing you could say about this show, it was a thing on TV.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
What?
What?
No. No.
Mike, what are you doing?
No.
Mike, what? Mike, don't play that music, Mike! Do not play that music, Mike!
No.
Do not play that music, Mike!
We'll play that music right here. All right, guys, it's time for eBay Prices Right. Yes, there is an eBay Prices Right related to this show.
How? It was on a week.
Oh, I'm going to share with you how. Up for bids are 2 tickets to the Noel Edmonds Show.
Oh, of
Huh?
course. Of course.
2 tickets to the Noel Edmonds Show.
If there's Hollywood game tickets on eBay, of course there's going to be Noel Edmonds Show tickets.
And the one I'm looking at is 2 tickets for June 17th. So obviously this was recorded beforehand because this didn't air until, I believe it was, the week of the 23rd or the 27th?
Yeah, 23rd to the 27th.
Yeah. So this was pre-recorded. It wasn't live, so that may be part of the reason why you didn't really have a topical monologue like Carson or Letterman or something like that. So 2 tickets to the Noel Edmonds Show. And I started with Greg on the previous episode. I'm going to start with Chico on this episode.
$20.
$20, Greg.
$1, Bob.
Oh,
Whoa.
that takes chutzpah. All right, $20 for Chico, and Greg just $1 the heck out of Chico. Said, nope, $1. I think you're way over. The actual buy it now price for these 2 tickets to the Noel Edmonds Show, just $4.99.
What?
Yeah!
Just $4.99. It was originally $9.99, but it's 50% off. So $4.99 plus $5 shipping. You can get 2 tickets to the Noel Edmonds Show.
It costs more to ship it than it is to buy it.
Yeah, you're right. But also, in case you have some worry about supply and demand, this seller has, and this is not a lie, this isn't a typo, you didn't mishear me, 7 pairs of tickets to the Noel Edmonds Show up for grabs on eBay.
Did he know somebody at the ABC Television Center? I
have no idea.
Did he have like 500 tickets of the 200 tickets of the Noel Edmonds Show lying around?
I have the foggiest idea. What I can tell you is some tickets are for the 14th of June. Some are for the 16th of June. The overwhelming majority of tickets, though, are for the 17th of June. But yeah, there are 7 different auctions, each at $4.99 for the pair of tickets. Buy it now price. So if you want the tickets, there's an ample supply out there, and even at $4.99, they're not flying off the shelves.
Yeah,
I can't believe that.
Yeah, there's not just 14 tickets. There's 7 pairs of tickets. Plus, actually, there's an 8th auction where it's a ticket to the Noel Edmonds Show plus a ticket to a TV show called Surprise, Surprise, which looks like it may be a pilot of some sort. It looks like actually Surprise, Surprise is a looks like a pilot maybe for a game show hosted by Jamie Farr.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if it's a game show, but it's hosted by Jamie Farr, and Jamie Farr at the time would have done a number of pilots. He would have done Oddball, and
wasn't he originally supposed to do a match game revival in '85?
I don't know that.
I think that was in Adam's book about Gene Rayburn, I think.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
So yeah, and also don't forget that Jamie Farr did a week of wordplay back in 1987. And like I said, most of the tickets are from June 17th, but a few are from June 14th, and a few more are from June 16th. But like the overwhelming majority are from June 17th. So maybe he had some connections, some ins, or maybe I don't know.
Hold up, guys. One of the tapings on June 14th, one of the guests that's the episode with Huey Lewis also has, and this is breaking because I just noticed the name on here, John Lovitz.
What?
John Lovett's misspelled first name, John Lovitz.
Yes, but you got to remember, folks, John Lovitz wasn't on SNL till the fall of '86. Because the previous year would have been Lauren's first year back on SNL after Ebersol, and that was the year where he had like the weird cast where he had like Randy Quaid and Joan Cusack and Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall in the cast.
Yeah, and actually looking at these tickets, it looks like they did tape 2 shows a day because just going through the tickets, one of the episodes on the 17th of June had David Hasselhoff and Catherine Hickland. The other episode had Philip Bailey and Vanity.
Oh, Vanity.
Oh, yes. I love The Last Dragon.
And then, as Greg said, June 14th had Huey Lewis, Mr. Mister. Oh, I mean, this is like peak mid-'80s right here. Huey Lewis, Mr. Mister, and John Lovitz.
Hey,
okay.
you know what John Lovitz's reaction would be if he saw the ticket to the Noel Edmonds show?
That's the ticket?
Damn it, Mike! You stole the joke.
Stevie Wonder could have seen that joke.
Yeah, that you tried. Then you have Peter Allen and Marsha Warfield, as we mentioned, and then Lisa Hartman and surprise musical guest.
So you could realistically get the entire ticket set for the whole show.
Yeah. And then another one here you have Kenny Loggins, and then actually, if this is the same episode, the David Hasselhoff and Catherine Hickland ticket, they also list again peak '86 musical guest Bananarama.
Oh yeah, Bananarama.
Would this be before or after that one lady quit? I don't know.
Hey, I got an entire best of album of Bananarama that I got on Amazon Music for about $5.
And then another ticket actually has the Blow Monkeys and Paul Rodriguez. Remember, Paul Rodriguez was big, and then he did eventual installment, the Newlywed Game,
and eventual installment Grand Slam.
And eventual installment Trial and Error.
Yeah, Trial and Error, yes.
Wait,
was that a comedy?
That was a comedy.
It was a comedy.
Eddie Velez and Paul Rodriguez as best friends.
Okay.
One went to law school. The other one has street cred.
Yeah, CBS 87, 88-ish. Around the time of Eisenhower and Lutz.
Okay, I'm thinking of, because wasn't that Michael Keaton, Jeff Daniels movie also called Trial and Error?
I think I know what you're talking about. And
yeah,
you're right about that.
Yeah.
So you get all 5 tickets, and yay, you have a collector's item because those would be the only 5 tickets.
Collect them all, kids.
Gotta catch them all. Oh wait.
Yeah, wrong series. But you know what you should catch all of?
All 80-plus episodes of It Was a Thing on TV available online at itwasathingontv.com.
You're absolutely right, Chico. All 80 episodes of It Was a Thing on TV are available at our website at itwasathingontv.com. Plus, also, don't forget the socials. We're on Instagram. We're on Tumblr. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Discord. We're everywhere.
Yes.
One thing we have to mention, the weekly drop over at Place to Be Nation Pop.
Yes, because obviously our previous week's stuff gets uploaded. So we have right now that uploaded on Wednesday. This past Wednesday would be WTF Stories of Unsolved Mysteries in the Hollywood Game. So if you missed those episodes last week, you can go straight ahead and listen to that.
Yep, listen to Greg wax poetic about the Magic Rock.
The Magic Rock and Chair.
The chair of death.
Chair.
No, that's me. That's me waxing poetic about the chair. It's a chair of death. So, next week, we have, and Greg brought this up earlier, but this, I believe you said this was the dumbest premise for a TV show ever.
Yes, it is. My God, Chico. I cannot believe I found this show probably last year when we were trying to come up with topics for this show. This is the stupidest concept for a television show ever. Who decided after they saw the pilot episode, you know what? This is so great. We got to put this series. We got to make this series. Why? Who thought that this was a good idea?
Well, I could tell you who thought it was a good idea, but I'd be spoiling the episode. But first, we have to do a sort of a special episode because over the course of recording this episode, and this is going to date when we actually recorded it, the news came down that we lost Regis Philbin at the age of 88, and what an incredible life that he's had, and what an incredible career that he has had. I mean, he was, if anybody could be told they are Mr. Television, it would be Regis Philbin. And
Definitely.
we are going to go over one of the forgotten gem? I don't know if it was hey Mike, would you call this a forgotten gem?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll go over that.
Some things are best left forgotten.
Okay, well, there's a way of putting it. We'll talk more about it and the other show next week on It Was a Thing on TV.
Wow!
Deal or no deal?